Hey everyone, today is Tuesday, March 16th. The time right now is 3:27 p.m. and the temperature out is 2 degrees Celsius. This is the intersection of Bathurst and Wilson. And this area is known as Little Manila. Late last year, I recorded a video through here. There goes the 165 bus, which I just got off. All right, I might as well cross here. And the plan for this one is to head south down Bathurst Street to Bathurst and Lawrence. So this here would be the heart of the Little Manila neighborhood. And I just recorded my bus ride from York Mill Station, where I got on the bus, over to here. And I will upload that probably as a second or a separate video, so I'll leave a link to that in the description if you're interested. And this here is walking south on the west side of Bathurst, but I think I want to be on the east side, so I'll cross over again here. The light's about to change soon. There's Highway 401. Also, earlier today, I uploaded a tour of my bachelor apartment in Midtown Toronto. So if that's something you might be interested in, I'll leave a link to that in the description. That is on my Johnny Stumbles channel. I do post shorter walking and cycling videos around the city and transit rides. I also do home live streams there. So if that's something you might be interested in, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, subscribe to my main channel here, Johnny Strides. So this is Highway 401. I'm about to head underneath here. And this is actually the busiest highway in all of North America. And in some spots, it's up to 18 lanes wide. And it runs from east to west across the province of Ontario, from the Detroit-Windsor border all the way to Quebec. So I'm now leaving the Little Manila neighborhood. There are plans for a new highway north of the 401 called the 413, and that would be a 59-kilometer highway. And that's quite controversial, as it'll be crossing through existing farms and conservation lands as well as protected areas. A lot of people have voiced concern that it's redundant and not particularly needed. And that for a total cost of $6 billion, the region would be better served by better rail and transit connections. There's already an express highway that runs on a toll system called the 407. And there's a look north up Bathurst and the eastbound on-ramp to Highway 401. And I guess this is just a cross at your own risk kind of situation. There's not even a yield sign for drivers. Or maybe there is right here. So this is not an area I am super familiar with. I've only recorded down here once on the channel before, and that was a live stream. This has got to be some kind of yield sign here. It's kind of an interesting mishmash of low and mid-rise apartment buildings and retail shops and strip malls. It's got a bit of an older feel to it. But the surrounding residential streets are quite nice. This is Carmichael Avenue. And along this stretch of Bathurst, the neighborhood to the right of Bathurst, which would be the west side, is known as Lawrence Manor, and the neighborhood on the east side is known as Ledbury Park. Here's a surviving Starbucks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And this used to be a local landmark, as where the Sea famous Chinese food restaurant was. And that closed its doors last February, so I don't think you could consider it a victim of the restrictions put in place due to the pandemic, but it was there for over 60 years, or I think around 60 years. I can't remember if I've ever been there or not, but I was in this area pretty much every weekend as a kid, even though I grew up in Mississauga, as my grandparents lived on Hotspur Road right there. So if my mom is watching, I'm sure this brings back some memories. We always used to drive along the Gardner and then head north up Bathurst to here. And sometimes we took the 401. It's a DJI Pocket 2.
DJI?
Yeah, my camera?
It's the camera?
Yeah.
Where did you buy that?
I bought this one on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So how does it work? It goes to your, what's this? It goes here.
No, there's a memory card. It just records on the SD card. And then I put that on my computer. I have a YouTube channel, so I'm making a video for YouTube right now.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
Go if you
How
go
does it work?
if you go to YouTube and go to Johnny Strides,
Can I just,
take a picture of it?
yeah.
Sure. Just look up Pocket 2. Oh, you have an S21 Ultra?
Yeah.
Nice camera.
Okay. But I let you see
DJI Pocket 2.
DJI Pocket 2.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, have a good day. There's someone interested in my camera. And I think the building my grandparents lived in throughout the 80s, and I think they moved out in the early 90s, was right along Hotspur, just on the right there. whenever I would go there, my grandfather would always have a big jar of pennies and nickels and dimes that he had picked up from these sidewalks, just from walking around the area. And it was always a good amount too. Although not too many people are carrying a lot of loose change around these days. And there goes a number 7 bus. That'll run north from Bathurst Station, which is just north of Bathurst and Bloor on the border of the Annex in Koreatown, and that'll head north up to Steeles Avenue to continue on south through the west end of downtown down to the lake. There is a streetcar that serves Bathurst Street. There's a seniors living building. And in this area in particular, there's a rather large Jewish community that has traditionally resided along Bathurst Street. And there's also a fairly large Filipino-Canadian population in this area as well. And I think this building here is a Jewish community center. And that neighborhood over there, Lawrence Manor, has a fairly high Orthodox Jew population. Often in Toronto, the local BIAs will put the BIA or neighborhood name on the street signs, but I haven't seen that in this area yet. And that is Sherei Tefillah. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. There's a look north at Bathurst again. This entire walk should be somewhere around 2 kilometers from end to end. And if I don't dilly-dally too much, it should be about 25 minutes or so. And then once I get to Lawrence, I think I'll fire up a live stream and stream my walk home from here. There is Baycrest Hospital. I'm not sure what they specialize in. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with this area, so we're kind of just exploring it together. I'm not really a fan of this parking in front plaza design. It's not particularly urban. And unfortunately, I don't have too many memories of walking around this area with my grandparents when I was a kid. I do remember hopping on the bus and taking that over to Yorkdale Mall, which is not too far from here. Lola's Shoes. I think Lola is a word in Tagalog, which is the Filipino language, and that's right next to a Filipino food retailer. I think Lola means aunt. It's kind of neat to see an area this well built up that doesn't seem all that gentrified in the traditional sense. Apparently this place is pretty good. Saviors, I've heard of that. There's a neat green Porsche. Amazing donuts, nut and sesame seed free. What if I like my donuts with a healthy serving of nuts and sesame seeds? We'll just take a peek at one of these residential streets here. It's a lot of decent sized homes. You see that style of home all over the place in this part of town. Rainbow Asian cuisine. So we are still in what the province calls the gray zone. So there's no indoor dining at restaurants, bars, and cafes, at least for another week. I think on Friday we'll get word if things can open up or not. For the first time, the City of Toronto's top doctor has acknowledged that there are other factors at play other than purely the virus numbers that should be taken into consideration. I think, along with the mayor supporting moving into the red zone, I take that as a good sign that the City of Toronto will finally start to open up and give a lot of these struggling businesses a boost. The Music Box, the place to be. Star Haze by Lechon. That unfortunately appears to have closed down. If I do miss your favorite local spot, or if you have any tips on anywhere in this area that's particularly good, feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below. Filipino and Chinese style lechon and groceries. I'm trying to think if I've ordered anything off of Uber or any of the delivery services in this area. One-stop security shop. There's a personalized gifts for babies and kids shop. There's a hair salon. That's another kind of business that in the city are desperate to open up again. Hopefully Monday's just what we were all waiting for. I myself kind of need a haircut. Not exactly looking all that spiffy right now. La Mexicana. And you hear stories of people that come to Toronto and they say all they saw was Tim Hortons on every street corner, but I can't remember the last time we even passed one on this walk. There's Fairlawn Avenue, and across the street is Prince Charles Drive. It looks like there's more of those almost cookie cutter style homes these days along this street. And there's a development notice for this apartment building. It looks like they want to increase it by 4 stories and build 32 residential townhomes on this lot. That'll be interesting. I wonder if it was built with that potential addition in mind. Hopefully we'll get some blue skies and that warmer weather back next week. It's kind of nice having those warm days last week. I went out and did a bike ride on a day where it got up to 17. There's thecloverschool.com. There's a convenience store that went belly up. Executive office space available. I remember walking by this gallery on my live stream. There is no shortage of vacant retail spots along this stretch. And I am coming up to Lawrence Plaza. So this will be where I end the video soon. This wasn't a particularly long one, but I wanted to come up here and record this area. There's not a whole lot of interesting things going on downtown lately anyways. I'll probably try to reserve recording through that area to the weekends. The Bedford Towers. And here is Bedford Park Avenue. And at one time, Bedford Park, it might still be, was the most affluent neighborhood in all of Toronto. And I think if you were to follow Bedford Park Avenue to the east over to Avenue Road, you'll be in that neighborhood. Again, it's pretty much the same style of fairly modern homes. I'm sure at some point someone has fancied buying this and turning it into a clone of one of these properties. They are rather nice. It's just looks kind of like a whole sea of the same thing. I'm sure most of those homes are north of $2.5–3 million easily. And this is Covington Road. And here's a sign telling us there's a library over to the west. So somewhere along Covington, you can get some books. And it's another typical residential street, I think. You can kind of see what I think is the library hiding off in the distance. Oh well. So Bathurst and Lawrence is a fairly major intersection. And you could turn right here and head over to Lawrence West Station, or you could turn left and head over to Lawrence Station. There's the big plaza. And it's only 3:57. I could continue south on Bathurst here, but I think I will save that for the live stream. There's the large metro that is open till midnight. So I'll just cross over to the west side of Bathurst and take a look in the plaza. and then we'll call it a video. I find the further you get away from the city's core, the longer you have to wait at these intersections as a pedestrian. You're almost an afterthought in a lot of places. There's some more businesses to the south. So that live stream should be up on the channel by the time you see this. There's the 952 Lawrence Avenue West bus. And you can grab a bus on Lawrence that'll take you to the airport. I did that once, never again. And here's a look at Lawrence Plaza. It looks like there's a lineup to get into the supermarket here. It's not too uncommon these days. But anywho, I think I'll end the video here. There are links to my Patreon in the description if you wish to support the channel. You can also check out channel memberships on the main YouTube page. And I do have a sometimes updated Instagram page as well, or account, however you say that. So sometime within a few days after posting this video, I'll post the bus ride that went along Wilson. And you can find that live stream that I'm about to go record as well on the main channel. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.